powerhouses consist of three main broadcasting companies, namely ABC, CBS, and NBC. But before we dive into this, there's one thing that I would like to mention, because this story is told by four legal aliens, all from different countries. Jue from China, Nandini from New Zealand, Jiyoung from Korea, and me from the Netherlands. Together we have analyzed and dissected the strategies of these powerhouses from their origin to where they are today. It was a journey of exploration and insights for us, and we have come to the conclusion that it was not only for us, but also for ABC, CBS, and NBC. It has been a journey, and it still is. So, in their journey, this is the most important thing that we've been realizing, that it's becoming more and more uncertain where their journey is going and what their future will be. So at first glance, ABC, CBS, and NBC are very similar. The best example of this is their slogans. ABC's slogan is America's Network, whereas CBS's slogan is America's Most Watched Network, and NBC's slogan is America's #1 network. So that was definitely something I was like, okay, are these all exactly the same? These three form the giants, and to able to illustrate their journey best, we use the metaphor of the Titanic, the seeming unsinkable ship. Many Americans have grown up watching ABC, CBS, and NBC. However, numbers are now reflecting that they are not only growing up with them, but also growing old with them. The average viewer age for these networks is around 52 years old and rising. In the mind of these viewers, these networks have always existed, and the thought of them not existing is almost unimaginable. But does this mean that the powerhouses are also unsinkable? Especially if you look at their revenue, it seems like they're definitely staying afloat. The big stations, so the overarching stations, have revenues that go into the billions, but the subcategory of specific news, NBC is $1 million a year, CBS is $5 to $10 million a year, and ABC is in the same 5 to 10 million category. These numbers are very positive. However, the size of the company and revenue can also work as an anchor to slow down innovation. If we compare company size, we see that ABC is the largest with about 5,000 to 10,000 employees. Second largest is NBC with 200 to 500 employees. And last but not least, CBS, who ranges between 50 to 200 employees. And it is also important to realize that NBC, ABC, and CBS are not the highest level of company structure. ABC is, for example, owned by Disney. NBC is owned by Comcast, and CBS by Viacom. So they're large fighters, but they're in an even larger web.
So how did they get this big? Let's look at their trajectories from their origins. So our news broadcasting networks were established in the 30s in the golden era of the radio. And after the 30s and into the 40s, there was the rise of television, and our networks dominated the screens. And this kept, they kept gaining in popularity up until the 70s and the 80s. From the 90s onwards, though, they started to see a bit of a decline. Due to the introduction of multimedia channels such as the internet. So this particular transition from the multimedia into what we call now the post-network era did pose some challenges for our networks. So the challenges came up, were mostly because of digital competition, such as aggregators, social media, other news venues, and streaming services, all eating chipping away at their revenue and their audiences. This evidence was seen in the decline of viewership in the age group of 18 to 24. We saw a dip from 16% down to 10% from the years 2014 to 2018.
Yeah, to face the challenges that they meet in the digital competition, our giants took some lifeboat strategies. Here are some of them that we find interesting, and we will explain if it's working or not on the next chapter. Trying to blend in, what they did first is to follow the trend in form. For example, CBS has adopted a similar design style to Netflix in its website, making the news on demand like its competitor.
Yeah, another strategy would be the clickbait strategy. When you look at the Instagram page of NBC, like there were so many posts like cat or diet videos. Also, like ABC on their website, they have like separate trending video section. So I thought that this kind of like videos are trying to lower the barrier of what the news is and make people more feel fun and interested in it.
In the meantime, all of the three venues has taken a distributed branding strategy to highlight their popular programs on each within their own website, on social media, and their own distinct brands. For instance, in NBC, we'll have The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, we'll have the NBC Night News, The Late Night with Seth Meyers, etc., separately on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Last strategy is embracing their origin as TV broadcasters. Unlike other news channels like New York Times, who had less videos in their posts, the powerhouses were emphasizing the video clips and live video by putting them in the top part of their websites and also in the articles.
So, is it working, and for whom? To answer these questions, we have set the following three criteria. First, is it helping the venues to get more views? Second, is it helping the citizens to get better informed? And the third, is it building trust in between? So let's start with trend following. In my point of view, I think they could gain more viewers because the new form, the trendy form, appeals to the young generation's appetite. But does it help us to get more informed?
Well, there's no one correct answer, but since the format is definitely attracting the viewers, there is higher possibility that the news can reach broader people and make more people to know what's going on in the world. But does it help to build trust among people?
We are not sure yet. What about the clickbait? Yes, I think it might be working because evidence has shown that ABC has the biggest followers, biggest social media followers among these three brands, and they have the most amount of entertaining videos mixed with real news.
I think, but it's not helping the citizen to get more informed because it is like blurring the line between what is news and what is not news. So I thought that's like also lowering like trust among audiences.
Let's move on to the distributed branding strategy. I think it's working because it's increasing visibility to target specific viewers and interest groups throughout the whole internet.
Yeah, it is also helping the citizens to get more informed because we have diverse target viewers and more channels to consume the news. It is also building the trust, we thought, because since the audience feel more easily connected to the person, the anchor, and the brand, for example, Jimmy Fallon, so there is more chance to trust the news they deliver, not the giant company they don't feel connected to.
Last, embracing its TV origin. I think there's something that's working and some things are not. For example, the fact that they're inherited their live videos actually is working because it's helping people to be feeling more actively engaged and feeling up to date. But the fact their current content and their presentation is still archaic. You can see the standard news anchor lady in the front with that classic haircut. I don't think it is appealing to the young generation.
Yeah, to continue to what Yue mentioned, it is doesn't make people more informed? I think the live nature of the news forces them to fill every minute of their airtime with content. So the viewers are not necessarily like getting the most relevant news. So we thought it's not making us very informed. What about trust? What do you think?
I think trust can be built because the live news, the form of live news actually give us a perception that it is real.
Okay, so in conclusion, we've looked at the journey of the powerhouses and the lifeboats that they're trying to put out into the world. And I think we can make the conclusion, but the question remains, do they have enough lifeboats, and are they committing enough to each of these strategies that they're moving towards, but maybe not committed enough towards? Our hope is that they will, and be able to steer the Titanic around our iceberg and avoid a sinking ship.